Greetings, 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 greetings. What's going on, lineage? This is your brother Chief Flying Eagle. What the deal? What the deal? What the deal? Wagwan. Let me make sure I have audio on Facebook. Audio on Facebook. Boom, 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 boom. What the deal? What the deal? What the deal? We got audio on Facebook. First things first. Want to acknowledge our ancestors, giving them thanks and just acknowledging them. You know what I mean? Appreciate the guidance and the protection. And like I said before, we are living in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time. And we are going to experience some amazing things. But at the same time, we're going to experience some things that people may consider not so amazing. What it is, Brother Kick Rocks, what the deal is. So I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of time to chime into this build. We're about to share some information. Of course, if you miss the live, then you will catch the recording. Either way, it's going to be live on YouTube or Facebook. Do me a favor, please. Let me know what territory you're tuning in. I will definitely give you a shout out. All right. So thank you for that. I wonder what everybody's doing at this point. It's actually 4:42 in New York. I don't know if you guys are out watching some games. I don't know what y'all doing, but me personally, I'm always building. I'm always putting information out there. And by no means, like I tell people, don't believe anything that I share on these videos. Don't believe anything. The mere fact, if I ask you to believe me, I'm lying to you because in the word believe is the word lie. So I don't do belief systems. It's either I know or I don't know. If I don't know, I'm going to seek and find the information, credible information, and share it with you. So do your own research and let's get this build popping. Oh, before I start, I'm not here sharing this information to convince anybody of who we are. Me personally, I don't get into debates. I don't get into the whole idea of, oh, I got to prove to anybody that I'm an American Indian and we were the original people of this land. Nah, I'm not going to debate anybody on that. Let them prove me wrong. That's always my thing. The burden of proof is on the accuser, accusing you that you are not who you say you are. You dig? So with that being said, this is only for knowledge purposes. When people challenge you, or even you could start showing that to your family members to kind of like get them on board, because a lot of them is still, they're a little bit, either they're too far gone or they got one foot in, one foot out. So I'm continuously giving you information. You could show them proof that we've been here and we were not slaves coming from Africa. You feel me? So want to give a shout out to my brother Kick Rocks, from Brooklyn. We have Adom, Winham, Halito, and greetings to you as well. I have my sister Ivy on Facebook. Without further ado, man, let's get into this, man. I'm not gonna waste any more time. I was just trying to, buy a little more time to make sure everybody could come on, but it is what it is. Gain related. What the deal is, lineage was good. Y'all gonna love this one because Sir Walter Raleigh, a notorious explorer. You know what I mean? And in his own words, he described the natives that he found in Trinidad and Guyana. You dig? So we're gonna get into that because people think it's a game, but the chief is gonna bring information to shock everybody and show people that I'm well studied. So we're gonna get into this reading right here. Boom. As a matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this link and I'm gonna put it in the description as well, so you guys could do your own reading. Because I like people to do their own research. You feel me? I just don't like coming on here and giving information just like that. Nah, I'm gonna give you the joint so you could go ahead and do your own research. You feel me? All right, check it out. Post it in here. That's what I'm gonna be reading from. Y'all got it on YouTube. Eventually, I'm gonna post it on Facebook. Okay? I will. Promise. All right, where is that thing at? Where is that thing at? Okay, it's right here. Let me share this, share the screen, and let us go. Boom. It says the discovery of Guyana. Now, most people I don't want y'all to confuse the spelling of this Guyana with Guyana. It is the same thing, and I'm going to prove it to you. All right. It's just that it was spelled differently in 1595. In 1595, it was pronounced Guyana, as in iguana, because iguanas are indigenous to the Americas. You feel me? I'm just letting y'all know what it is. So Sir Walter Raleigh, if you don't know who he is, go look him up. He was a famous explorer. And that's in 1595. All right, 1595. Let's read. Now, I'm not going to read the entire book, okay? But I'm going to go just, pick out the parts that I want. Because everything else, you could go ahead and read it on your own. On Thursday, the 6th of February, in the year 1595, of course, so we know that's the Gregorian calendar, we departed England, and the Sunday the following had sight on the North Cape of Spain, the wind for the most part continuing prosperously, passed in sight of Berlin's and the Rock, and so onwards for the Canaries, and fell with Fortaventura, the 17th of the same month, where we spent 2 or 3 days and relieved our companies with some fresh meat. From thence we coasted by the Grand Canaria, and so to the Tenerife, and stayed there for the Lion's Whelp, your lordship and Captain Amæus Preston, and the rest. But when after 7 or 8 days we found them not, we departed and directed our course for Trinidad, with mine own ship and a small bask of captain's crust only, for we had before lost of sight a small gallego on the coast of Spain, which came with us from Plymouth. We arrived in Trinidad. For those of you who don't know what Trinidad is one of the islands in the so-called West Indies, right? They arrived in Trinidad on the 22nd of March, casting anchor at Point Curiapan, which the Spaniards call Punta de la Gala, which is situate in the 8th degrees or thereabouts. We abode there for 4 or 5 days. In all that time, we came not to the speech of any Indian or Spaniard. So at that time, remember, the Spaniards, that the conquistadors, they were already in the Americas before the British came. Therefore, when he came, he met Indians. They were Indians or Spaniards, but he hadn't ran into any of them thus far. On the coast, we saw a fire as we sailed from the point Carao towards Cariopan. But fear of the Spaniards, none does come to speak with us. I myself it in my badge close aboard the shore, and landed in every cove, the better to know the island, while the ships kept the channel. From Cariopan, after a few days, we turned up east to recover that place which the Spaniards call Puerto de los Españoles, and the inhabitants Concarabia, and as before, revictualling my badge, I left the ships and kept by the shore, to better come to the speech with some of the inhabitants, and also to understand the rivers, watering places, and the ports of the island, which as it is rudely done. My purpose is to send the lordship after a few days. From Cariopan, I came to a port and seat of the Indians called Parico, where we found a fresh water river, but saw no people. From thence I rode to another port called by the naturalists Peach, and by the Spaniards Terra de Brea. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and kind of like search for everything that I want, because at that point, when they left Trinidad, they made their way to Guyana or Guyana. So we're gonna put in the search, we're gonna put in brown, as in the color brown, and we're looking for where it mentions anything about a brown complexion. Here we are. Okay? Let us read. I'm going to scroll down just a little. It reads, where there's store of gold, it is in effect needless to remember other commodities for trade. But it hath toward the south part of the river great quantities of Brazil wood and divers berries that dye a most perfect crimson and carnation, and for painting. All France, Italy, or the East Indies yield none such. So they didn't have any carnations. They didn't have any of those, of fiora or flora rather, that we had in the West Indies. They didn't have that in Europe. That was their first time seeing those things. You feel me? For more like skin is washed, the fairer the color appeareth, and with which even those brown and tawny women spot themselves and color their cheeks. All places yield abundance of cotton, of silk, of balsamum, and of those kinds most excellent and never known in Europe, of all sorts of gums, of Indian pepper, and what else the country may afford within the land we know not, neither had time to abide the trial and search. The soil besides is so excellent and so full of rivers, as it will carry sugar, ginger, and all other commodities which the West Indies have. I want to pay focus on the complexion of the women, brown and tawny women. It gets even better. Let's put in the search the word black. Even if we know we are not black, but check this out. They use the word black in there. But when they refer to black people, let's see what they talk about. Let's read. Here we go. All right. I know I got it somewhere. I just seen it. Give me 1 second. Black. Where did I have that at? Black. All right. So there's one talk about, let me see. Good stature with black eyes, fat body, and excellent countenance here, blah, 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 blah. We're going to go to the next one. Here we go. The second one is right here. All right, beautiful. I tell people, don't play with me, man. Check this out. We're going to read. The next morning, towards 9 of the clock, we weighed anchor, and breeze increasing, we sailed always west of the river. And after a while, opening the land on the right side, the country appeared to be champagne, and the banks shewed very perfect red. I therefore sent 2 of the little barges with Captain Guilford, and with him Captain Thean, Captain Caulfield, my cousin Greenfield, my nephew John Gilbert, Captain Enos, Master Edward Porter, and my cousin Buttshed Gorges, with some few soldiers to march over the banks of that red land and to discover what manner of country it was on the other side. Who at their return found it all a plain level as far as they went, or could discern from the highest tree they could get upon. And my old pilot, a man of great travel, brother to the cacique is the chief, Tapa Re Maka, told me that those who called the plains of Sema, and that the same level reached to Cumana and Caracas in the West Indies, just so that y'all don't get confused. This is the West Indies now, which are 120 leagues to the north. And there inhabited 4 principal nations. We had nations before this so-called people came from Africa. You see what I'm saying? Because they did not come from Africa. Let us read. And I'm reading right here, right now. Okay. We're talking about the 4 principal nations. The first one was what? What does it say? let me highlight this. The first nation was Sema. The next was Asawe. The third and the greatest, Wikari, by whom Pedro Hernandez de Cepa, before mentioned, was overthrown as he passed with 300 horse from Cumana towards Oranoco in his enterprise of Guyana. Let us continue and read. These people think we're playing with them. We're not playing. Here we go. Oh, stop it. The fourth are called the Auroras and are as black as Negroes, but have smooth hair, and these are very valiant, or rather desperate people, and have the most strong poison on their arrows, and most dangerous of all nations, of which I will speak somewhat, being a digression not unnecessary. So once again, I'm showing you from Sir Walter Raleigh, a notorious explorer in the 1500s, going into into Trinidad, then now going into Guyana. They got four powerful nations, but the most powerful one is the darkest ones, you feel me, that they say that are black as Negroes. They never said they were Negroes because we are not Negroes, but have smooth hair. That's our people. It doesn't matter how dark we are, that's the hair that we have. All right. And are very valiant. Stop. I'm going to give you another source. When Sir Walter Raleigh took one of them to England. Let us read. Let us proceed. But before y'all get it confused and y'all think Tierra de Brea is another place somewhere else, I'm going to show you proof to you that it's actually in the West Indies. Let me go ahead and share my screen. People we're not from Africa lineage. We've been here. And I'm giving y'all over and over and over again. I'm giving you the proof. I'm giving you the documents so you could show your people and let them know, get this idea of Africa out of their head. I guarantee you, the majority of us in the Americas, particularly, all right, in different parts of North America, right here in the United States, we have more blood that's connected to us of so-called black Europeans than Africa, because it wasn't the Africans who came here. The people they brought here to work as servants that eventually became slaves, they were already Europeans. They are the dark Europeans. And I got the proof of that. It's in my book. I give you documents. I give you facts. I give you eyewitnesses. Nothing against Africans. I'm just letting you know the facts. You dig? Check this out. However, it was the Spaniard who started to refine the peach in 1792 and called it Tierra de Brea, meaning land of peach. The name eventually became La Brea, first called peach. The Amerindians believed it was created by the gods as punishment. So what we just read, I'm cross-referencing so that you don't get it confused that it's somewhere else. Let us proceed. I'm going to give you more. Here we are. Let me pull that up. I'm going to give y'all more because you have to have information to show your family, because for some reason we got to convince them, because they're indoctrinated the same way many people were indoctrinated before they woke up. But I've been doing this for a very, very long time. Here we are. Sir Walter Raleigh adopted a native boy. You heard what it said, a native boy. All right, let us read. Sir Walter Raleigh, the famed explorer of the Americas, adopted a native boy he brought back to England from his travels. It has emerged. Parish records show that Sir Walter brought a young black boy with him from Guyana when he returned to England following one of his voyages of discovery. Well, hold up. I thought they all came from Africa. I thought they were from Africa. How is that the native boy from, and we just seen the description of the four, what you call it, the four nations that was in Guyana, and they spoke about the most powerful one, which was black as the Negroes. Why didn't they just call them Negroes? They said black as the Negroes because obviously we were not Negroes, but they knew of Negroes that were outside of the Americas. That's how they knew that they were as black as the Negroes. And of course, we say in black, but we know we are not black. But let's read. Parish records show that Sir Walter brought a young black boy with him from Guyana when he returned to England following one of his voyages. A baptism register discovered in London Metropolitan Archives shows that the boy was baptized in the parish of St. Luke in Chelsea on 15 February 1597. The child named Charles was aged between 10 and 12 and is thought to have been one of the earliest and youngest natives brought to whom? Or brought to where? Brought to Britain. So like we tell people, one of the earliest. So therefore he was not the only one. And we keep telling people that this whole thing was told in reverse in regards to a lot of our people were being taken into London, into Europe. But the people who came here as servants first, after they enslaved our ancestors and Queen Isabella and Ferdinand, they was like, nah, we can't be doing this to these native people. We can't be doing that to the American Indians. We need another form of servantry. That's when they started taking these so-called black people and pale skin. First, it wasn't the pale skin people from Europe. They're criminals, they're vagabonds, they're citizens, they're ward of state, they're subjects. They started bringing them into the Americas. However, on their way back to Europe, they were taking American Indians into Europe. Y'all better recognize. Little is known about the boy's life in Guyana, but he is understood to have settled Sir Walter's household and may have enjoyed the status of a personal servant rather than a slave. Mark Nicholas, a fellow and librarian of St. John's College, Cambridge, said Raleigh was known to have brought American Indians back from Guyana. Not just Indian, but Indians. The intent was that they would go back home eventually, be civil, and spread the word that the natives should obey the English crown. So they took them from the Americas at a very young age, between 10 and 12, even the young women, brought them into Europe. And even before that, the Dutch did that. The Spaniards did that, took them into Spain, took them into Portugal. So they would train them how to become ministers and come back and administer to our people. Y'all think this is a game? The document discovery gives more insight into Raleigh. It was all part of a parcel of his inquiring mind. And so Raleigh was a man of color. He was a brown-skinned man as well. Y'all better stop playing these games, man. You feel me? Hold up for a second. All right, let me get back to y'all real quick. Therefore, my brothers and sisters, all I could do is bring the information to you. You do what you want with it. I'm giving you enough documents to rebuttal all those people that want to continuously call us Africans. I'm showing you from explorers. I'm giving you documented information. You dig? So you could show it to your family, show it to your relatives, because a lot of them, they're just gone. Some of them are actually on the fence. And those are the documents that we have to pull up and show them, yo, this is real. I'm showing it to you right here. What does it say? A native of America. What they say his complexion? They said black. And they didn't just take one, they took many of them into London. And like I said before, the Spaniards did the same thing. The Dutch did the same thing. Because they had to take them to go train them and bring them back to indoctrinate our people and sell them the illusion, sell them the dream. Isn't it the same thing that's happening today? They take our people, make them football players, basketball players, celebrities, actors, singers, rappers. They give them the life, and then they have them promoting the self-destruction to the rest. They will give pass to about 2%, or not even 2%, 0.0.0.7%, make them millionaires and billionaires, and have them push the indoctrination and the self-destruction to the other 99.99.7%. Is the same thing that happened in the early days of colonization. Is nothing new under the sun, my brothers and sisters. Nothing new. We have to be wise enough to wake up and realize it's the same game being played by different players. The game never changes. Chess is chess. Monopoly is monopoly. Checkers is checkers. Football is football. Basketball is basketball. The rules may be altered slightly, but the game stays the same. Just different players. Just different players. Back in the days, they were not telling us we were from Africa. They were not telling us that. Because we had to be who we were for them to get the allodial titles from our women. It was after they married our women and turned our system into a patriarchal system, that's when they started putting us in Africa. At that point, if you change your identity, then the lands become abandoned. And if the lands is abandoned, they could take the land. Hence, they had the doctrine of discovery. All right. Let me give a few shout outs, man. I gave a few shout outs already, but we got Kick Rocks. We have Adome Winham. We have Sister IV. We have Gain Related. Who else do we have? We have American. Okay, that was me that posted something. We got what we got? Enots 0407. All right, welcome to the bill. Thank you for being here. Family First podcast. What the deal is. All right, no doubt. Always dropping that information. Everything is good. Everything is good. Can't complain, man. We got Zazie. Big up yourself. We got DD. Big up yourself. Who else do we have? We have Donisha. Big up yourself. Who do we have on Facebook? Attacking Us American God. What the deal is. We got Gary Amerindin. I see my peoples are waking up, boy. That's beautiful. We got Madia. Who else do we have? We have Genevieve. Welcome to the bill. We got Donisha. I already said that. Thank you, man. You know, it's a beautiful time that we're living in. And like I said before, it's an amazing time. However, they're the chaos. They're going to bring the chaos. So don't worry about that. Just stay focused. Just keep teaching your people. Keep reaching to our people. Keep claiming your birthright. Eventually, it's going to happen. I guarantee you that. It's going to happen. So with that being said, thank you for being a part of the build. My email is in the link below. This evening at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be going over a drip with our community. You're more than welcome. All you have to do is send an email. The email is in the link in the description. In the subject, you want to put tribal, and in the message, you want to put your name and number, so I could add you to our WhatsApp group. You will get the information, and our WhatsApp community, because I wouldn't say group. We have a community. All right, and we share lots of information, and it's like-minded people. We know who we are, and we stand on that. So it's at 8 p.m. Eastern time this evening. Send an email. I'll make sure you're added, you linked in, and you will be part of the build. We are going to go over that information, why it's important to really talk about this and bring it into law, because it's not legally binding. So we have to make those moves. You feel me? Always remember this. We are living in the Jubilee. We are in the Jubilee. It's time to regain our birthright. All right? And that's what's happening right now. So thank you. I really appreciate love you guys. Don't forget to send that information to the email so you can be part of the build this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Have yourself a great continuation. And I will see you this evening if you so choose to be a part of the build. Let's continue to commute. And when I mean by commute, I'm talking about communicate. That's how we build that community. A community is the ability to commune within a unit. We have to start looking out for each other and building together. Be my brother's keeper, be my sister's keeper. That's what this is about. It's our time, and nobody could stop this. All right? Big up and respect to all the original peoples of the Americas. Thank you.